All right, so for those of you who have not had me in class recently, I think everyone except for one person I've had in class, which I'm excited about. Always excited to meet new people. But for those of you who have not had me in a face-to-face class recently, I still record everything in Zoom. So in class, I will do a live recording of Zoom and I will post that in Canvas for you to go back. So if you're ever absent, you can catch up on the work. Or if you need to go back and see how we worked out a problem, you have the access to that, okay? So I always do record my lectures. That being said, let me make sure I'm not on mute. Okay, I'm not good. I do wear my headset to record because the audio is a much better quality. So I don't want you guys to think that I'm this weirdo that wears my headphones all the time. All right. Y'all are the first class back. So forgive me if I'm still a little rusty, but my name is Mr. Uminsky. My office is room 304, so it's right over here by the main office's hallway area. It's the second one on the left. My office door, if I'm in my office and I'm not on a call, typically my door will be propped open. So if my door is propped open, just knock on the door frame or knock on the door. And if I'm in a meeting, typically I will close the door. Outside of my office is a little piece of paper that shows my office hours and my class hours. And then also the hours that I'm here on campus or my work hours. So my office hours are times that I am literally sitting in my office waiting for you to come talk to me, okay? It's 2 hours a day. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, I kind of break it up. I do an hour before this class and I do an hour after my 2 o'clock class. So from 9:45 to 10:45, I'm in my office. And then from 3:30 to 4:30, I'm in my office, okay? I also log into Zoom during those times as well. So if you don't want to come in, like let's say you don't want to hang out here until after my 2 o'clock class, but you still want to talk to me, log into Zoom at 3:15, 3:30, and I'll be on Zoom ready to talk to you and answer any questions you might have, okay? I do have office hours on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday as well. Those are posted in Canvas. If for whatever reason you aren't able to come during any of those times, maybe your work schedule is really busy, please set up an appointment with me so that we can set up a time where we're both available. I need to know at least 24 to 48 hours in advance if you're going to meet with me outside of my office hours, just to make sure I have that time available. You can also always call me. Okay, my phone in my office is directed to my cell phone. So I'm not always in my office. We'll talk about the course syllabus when we log into Canvas. But this is our textbook, okay? If you haven't been on campus in a while, we have the Alamo Books Plus program, where Alamo Books, the cost of your textbook is built into your tuition, okay? And so I believe it's a rented book. I don't think it's one that you can keep, but you have the option to purchase it if you wanted to. If you are going to be in hotels, I would highly recommend that you keep this book, okay? If you're going to be in the hotel world, this is a very good resource to have, okay? Donna, looks like you have the textbook. Did it come with the red Scantron? Yes. Okay, perfect. So this will probably be the last semester that we're going to be using the red Scantrons. And I'll talk to you a little bit more about that as we get closer to that. What I would recommend is that you don't keep it in your book, put it somewhere and put it somewhere that's safe, okay? The videos that I'll show you in Canvas in just a moment are good for you to watch prior to coming to class, okay? Probably shouldn't say this because I'm your professor, but I know most of you probably don't read the textbook. Okay, some of you do. That's awesome. You're rock stars. Okay, if you don't like to read, like me, I hate to read. And it's weird a professor saying you don't like to read, but I don't like to read. Okay, so the videos follow the textbook. So I basically taken my lecture and summarize it into like 2 or 3 parts, and then you can watch those and take notes and then come to class. So that way when you come to class, you will have at least seen the information. We're going to go over it again, maybe just not in as much detail, but we also, it gives us more time because there is portions of our class that are going to be focused in math. And so as a result, it'll give you more time, us more time in class to work on specific problems. So if you've seen it, at least familiarize yourself with it, okay? And then when you come to class, we can talk about it in more depth. So class expectations. Attendance, we have a face-to-face class. I do ask that you come, we don't have to dress professionally all the time, okay? But obviously we don't want to like rush into class. And actually I'm realizing now that this was my presentation back when we were remote. So I should change that picture. But we do have our class on Tuesdays. If you see something in Canvas that says Thursday, please just make a mental note, let me know so I can go in and change it. This class used to be offered on Thursdays. And so I just switched it to Tuesday this semester, and I think I combed through everything, but just in case something says Thursday, just know that it should be Tuesday, okay? Please keep your technology use to a minimum unless you're taking notes on your laptop. Avoid side conversations, and then professional attire. I do have a potential for at least one field trip, but I also do have a couple of guest speakers that I'm trying to coordinate. And so whenever we do have guest speakers or a field trip, please use professional attire, okay? Anybody have, from a professional presentation standpoint, does anybody know what's wrong with my slide? Anyone want to guess? You're not going to hurt my feelings because I already know what I did wrong. How easy is it to read that text? It's not very easy, right? So your text and your background should always be contrasting. So that should probably have been black text. All right, see how much easier that is to read? So assignments are almost always due on Tuesdays at 8 a.m. Okay. I'm going to pass out our course calendar, which I did upload in Canvas today. So you'll have a paper copy of it. The reason why I do this, some of your classes, you might see it has 11:59 p.m. Okay. Back in 2020, when I graduated with my master's degree, and during that time, the couple years before, I realized that sometimes I was up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning doing homework. And if the deadline is 11:59, then technically my assignment would be late. But let me tell you something. I'm not up at 11:59 ready to grade your homework, okay? So if I'm not grading your homework at 11:59, what's the difference if you have 8 more hours to work on it, okay? And then that way, at least it's not late, it's turned in on time. So the way that I think about it is our class, whatever day our class meets, that's the beginning of our new week. So everything should be turned in by 8 a.m. on that week. So that way we're ready for the next week to move on, okay? I will go through, now that I have finished this, I will go through and on all the assignments and quizzes in Canvas, I will go in and start assigning the due dates. I haven't put them on there yet, but I will get those. Please come to class ready and watch all the videos that you can, and if as you're watching the videos, go ahead and make questions. If there's something that you don't quite understand, we can start off with those, and or we can, I can make sure I hit on them in more detail, okay? SOP, what does SOP stand for? Anybody? Yep, SOPs, the standard operating procedures. It's something you'll hear in the industry a lot, in business in general, okay? So SOP for us, I already mentioned it, but the food is available for you. I know we are removed from the rest of campus and we're really far away. There's no vending machine, okay? Also, the sodas will be in the fridge, in the little mini fridge in the closet. I'll try to keep that. If you want to bring something different, okay, to drink, or let's say you're going to bring like a sandwich, something for lunch, you're welcome to put it in the fridge. Just make sure you take it with you so we don't leave it in there over the week, okay? Help yourself, but don't go crazy, okay? Oh wait, sorry, that's not touchscreen, this one is. So did anybody not watch the pre-class introduction video? I know I just posted it yesterday. Okay, cool. Awesome, thank you. So I'll go through this relatively quickly. This is also in that video, but again, because there are a couple of people that are, things have changed or as I've not done this yet. So I am actually a graduate of St. Philip's College. I graduated in 2009. I started in 2000 as a culinary arts major. I chopped the tip of my thumb off in my basic skills class when I was dicing an onion. I zested my middle finger when I was zesting my lemon making biscuits. To this day, I have never made dried cranberry lemon zest almond biscuits again. And so I thought, me and culinary arts was not going to get along so well with the sharp objects. So I took a break. I went to work at TGI Fridays and then Cheesecake Factory. So I wanted to stay in the industry. And then from there, I decided to take a job with the Boy Scouts. I worked for Philmont Boy Scout Ranch in New Mexico for 4 summers. While I was there, I got a job with teaching 5th grade outdoor education for Houston Independent School District. So I spent 9 months in the Trinity, which is in East Texas near Huntsville. Spent 9 months a year there, 3 months in New Mexico, just back and forth for 4 years, living the camp life. And then I decided, okay, David, you're 25 years old. It's time to get back to school and finish something. So I came back to St. Philip's and I switched my degree to hotel management because I didn't want any of my classes to be lost from the previous class of the previous time I had taken for culinary arts. Okay. And then, so that's when I changed to hotel management. I graduated in 2009. So 2007 to 2009, I finished my degree in hotel management. During that time that I was gone for 7 years, they created, St. Philip's College created a hospitality event management degree, which we no longer offer. But that's kind of what the hospitality management degree is in general. Okay. So I finished that in 2010. I'll talk about my work experience here in just a minute. I took about a year off and then decided I wanted to go back to school. So I went to Texas A&M San Antonio. I earned a Bachelor's of Applied Arts and Science. It's a BAS degree. So oftentimes when you think about bachelor's degree, you think of a BS, Bachelor of Science, or a BA, Bachelor of Arts. This is a Bachelor's of Applied Arts and Science. And so what A&M Texas did is that A&M San Antonio did is they took all of my culinary classes and my hospitality classes and counted them as vocational credits. And so I took 36 hours, 12 classes, and I had a degree in business from my bachelor's degree from A&M San Antonio. They still have that. It's not as free as it was back when I graduated. I could take whatever classes I wanted. Now it's very prescriptive in which classes you have to take, but it still is available. When you keep that in mind, when you think about that, there are classes here at St. Philip's in our degrees that we don't require. We require you to take 5 gen eds. Okay, so that's English, algebra, computers, speech, and ethics. Okay, those are the only 5 general education courses you have to take to get your associate's degree from us in this department. So what I had to do was go back to SAC and at Northeast Lakeview at the time and take my music appreciation and my accounting and biology and all my sciences, right? That you don't have to take for this. So it's not necessarily just 12 more classes. You have a bachelor's degree. It's going to take a little bit more to get your general education courses, but then you can go to A&M San Antonio. So if you have any questions, let me know about that. In 2020, I earned my master's degree from University of North Texas in hospitality management. I did 100% online, and I am currently wrapping up. I've got 3 more weeks left of my 4th class at Grand Canyon University, where I'm going for my doctorate in higher education leadership. So one of these days you'll come back and I'll be president of St. Philip's College. I don't know about that. So my industry experience, Acadia Institute of Oceanography, I put that on there. It's not necessarily related to hospitality. I guess in a way it was. I was the head cook or the head chef for the Acadia Institute of Oceanography. It's a small private summer camp up in Maine. And I prepared breakfast and dinner for 50 to 60 people a day. I was responsible for writing my menus. I was responsible for ordering my product. And then I would prepare all the food. I would do breakfast by myself. I had an assistant in the afternoon to help with dinner prep. They would focus on the salad bar and getting the lunch meats and stuff ready for lunch the next day. And I focus on the entree and the dessert for the evening. So I worked up there, and when I think about it, I took a lot of my experience from event management. I basically was doing a catered meal every day for breakfast and dinner for 50 to 60 people. And so I used my experience that I gained from event management to talk to my boss and say, hey, can we get a hot box? So that way I literally had 2 ovens and six or 8 burners on my stove and 2 gas grills in the back outside. That's what I had to prepare food for 60 people. And so to keep food hot, I wanted, sorry, went back a couple decades. To keep food hot, I had to constantly shift and move things around in my ovens. And so I asked my boss one year, because of my experience working at Rio Cibolo, I said, can we get some hot boxes? And so that way I can make the green beans and stick them in there and they stay hot. And so I use that. And then also the last Friday of the session, they invited families to come and have a barbecue. Well, they call it a barbecue. I call it a cookout because it's just hamburgers and hot dogs. Okay. It's Maine, it's New England. And so we would do a cookout every Friday, and I'm doing a cookout for 150 to 175 people. So again, how do I keep that food hot? So I make the burgers and put them in my hot box, right? But then also I think about this and take it one step further. These kids are paying almost $3,000 for a 2-week summer camp. So I can't just throw stuff out there, right? So then I have asked my boss, hey, can I get a mandolin? So I can slice my tomatoes and they're perfect. I can slice the onions, they're perfect. And it makes it, the presentation is just as important as the food itself. And so taking all of those things that I had learned in event management, I was able to apply it and elevate that. So I worked there in 2007, 8, and 9. And then I took a break because I got my job at Rio Cibolo Ranch. I had a full-time job here. As soon as I started teaching here at St. Philip's College in 2015, I called my boss and I said, hey, look, I want to come to Maine. I don't care if I'm activities coordinator. I would love to be your cook, but I don't care what I'm doing. I just need to be in Maine for the summer. And so ultimately, I was able to go back and be the cook, thankfully. In 2015, when I went back, I came in $3,000 under budget. And the cook in 2014 went $3,000 over budget. And so essentially from one summer to the next, I saved my boss $6,000 because I knew how to reuse stuff. I knew how to make things from scratch. I didn't have to buy rolls. I just bought a 50-pound bag of flour and some yeast, and I could make my rolls myself. And so, you know, having those skills, even though we were hospitality, having those skills really helps you further your career in all different facets. Because for those of you who maybe don't know, you do have to take 2 cooking classes while you're here: basic food prep and professional cooking dining room service. I worked at the La Quinta Inn and Suites. I did my internship or my practicum there. I worked front desk and housekeeping. That was the reason why I got into event management. After I did housekeeping, I realized that I never want to clean more than 5 or 6 rooms a day. So I'm going to own a bed and breakfast. And I was just talking casually with one of my friends in my class, and my professor, Miss Berkeley, she said, she's like, David, I don't mean to eavesdrop, but I just heard your comment about cleaning rooms. So you should look into event management, because if you're going to own a B&B, a bed and breakfast oftentimes has to supplement their income with doing private events, because they don't always have what we call heads and beds, right? Heads and beds is someone sleeping in my bed, I'm making money. If my bed's empty, I'm not making any money. And so I said, okay, I never thought about event management. And then that's what I ended up doing. I worked at Rio Cibolo Ranch. I was there for 4 years. I did my practicum with them. So I did corporate events for about 3 years. And I did weddings for about a year. That was right when burlap was rearing its ugly head on the scene. And if you're not familiar with burlap and that trend, thankfully that is gone. Hopefully it's on the outs. But burlap and lace, I worked at a ranch. Everything was burlap and lace, and I just got tired of doing burlap and lace. And so from there, I went to work for a DMC, which is a destination management company. Worked at Adventures in San Antonio. They're not as active right now as they used to be. There's really just two people that own it and that run it. So they're very selective in the events that they take on. But they brought me on to do corporate events. And so my job for them was to, somebody was calling and they say, hey, I'm bringing my group. We're going to be about 60 of us. We're going to be coming to San Antonio. We want to do a dinner at a ranch. We want to go to dinners downtown. We want to do a team building activity. Tell me what you got, right? So a DMC is the local experts. And so we plan those activities for them and then we execute them as well. And then also I put the Alamo Area Hospitality Association on there. That is a local association. AHA is the acronym. And I earned the Alamo Area Hospitality Scholarship in 2008 when I was a student. So I got $500 from them. In 2014, I was the president of the association and was able to give the scholarship back to St. Philip's College and present that. And not only present it back, but also I upped it to $1,000 a semester. And so that is definitely a very full circle organization for me. I've been involved with it for about 12 to 13 years now. And I am actually currently the 2024 president. So I just took that on again. So I'm looking forward to being a part of that. And again, using all the skills and things and knowledge that I've learned over the last 10 years of being on different board of directors and now applying that and kind of helping AHA move forward. All right, so introductions. Tell us your name. I know most of you know each other, but we do have some new friendly faces in here. So tell us your name, what your major is, the industry experience. So do you have industry experience? Do you not? Okay. If you don't, that's okay. What is your dream job? What would you think your dream career would be? And then a fun fact or hobby that you enjoy. Let's see. Hold on. Let me see if I have my. I thought I had it back here. I do. All right. Who wants to go first? All right, Ruth. Here you go.
I'm Ruth Gibson. My major is I have 20 years experience.
Actions. So write down like 1 to 2 things that you think you can do to be successful in this class. All right, compare your list to your neighbors really quickly. Just take a look and see if you have anything similar. Similar or different. Sometimes your neighbors are behind you. Awesome. Okay, so who would like to share one of them? Go ahead, Raven. Okay, so a notebook or journal and a writing utensil. Okay, if you don't ever have either one of those, there's plenty up here on the desk. You're welcome to come up and pick one up if you'd like. Anybody else? Prior to class. Okay, awesome. Anybody else? Good. And in order to participate, oftentimes it's best to watch the videos before you come to class. Excellent. Good. All right, so what do you mean by stay focused? Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Yes. So we have Math World in the science building. You should have access to it. If you don't, let me know, because you typically do have to be enrolled in an MATH class. Like ours is HAMG. So if you're not enrolled in an MATH class, sometimes they won't give you access to Math World. But if you do need that, please let me know. I also I'm always available. Okay. When you come into my office hours, if you visit my office hours via Zoom, I can record the lecture just like I'm doing right now. I can record our notes, our tutoring, and send it to you as a separate video. So then it's specific to the questions that you have. And it's not the full hour and 15-minute long class. Okay. So yeah, visit Math World if you need to, or ask for help. The TNT, the Tutoring and Center. Yep. Okay, excellent. Thank you for that. I haven't been over there to that new one yet since they rebuilt it. Okay, excellent. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else? Something that's different that's on your list? Yes, Katarina. Okay. Good. It is subject to change. Okay. I think I tried to make a note of when I know I'm not going to be here on the course calendar, but again, sometimes it could be subject to change. But yeah, that's a great thing. Any other? I think this is a good list, unless there's something else that. Ooh, good. So if you turn on the notifications, if I post an announcement in Canvas, it will come to you. So if you don't have the Canvas app, I do highly recommend that you get that. Yep, absolutely. And so when you do, who does not have the Canvas app? Anybody not have the Canvas app? Okay, cool. You're gonna search for Alamo Colleges when you do that. Okay, you don't look for St. Philip's College, you look for Alamo Colleges, and then you'll put your login information just like you're logging into ACES, and that will give you access to your app. And I believe the student one is a red logo. It's the red Canvas logo. Oh, nice. Okay, excellent. Cool. All right, I think this is a pretty good list. All right, so let's save this. I don't know if you know this, but function F12, if you're working on a PC, function F12 is the save as. It pops up the save as window. So you don't have to go to file, save as. I like shortcuts. So function F12 will automatically pop this up. Let's see, this is revenue management. I'm gonna do first day of class, spring 2024. All right. I'm gonna print this out before we leave today. Everyone sign it. It's just kind of like, I mean, this is not legally binding, but it is just kind of a reminder. I'm gonna post it in Canvas. So reminder when you come to me at midterms, or you come to me like 3 weeks left of the semester, I'm like, Ms. Truman's, can think I can do to bring my grade up? I'm gonna say, well, let's take a look at this bullet list and let's see what we did or did not do. Okay. So I will print that before we leave today. And before we go into what revenue management is, actually, let's log into Canvas. Okay, so the Canvas homepage, on our Canvas homepage, the information is here. Oh, no, I guess it's not. Hold on. Let me put it just to be sure. That way you can access this information. If you need to call me or email me, you can just log into Canvas. You can also send me a message through Canvas. That's totally fine as well. Okay. The best way to navigate through the course is using modules. Okay. The best way is to the modules. So for this links for the spring, these are my office hours. So you just click on whatever day it is. It's the same link. It's just, I found that students can access it easier if I break it out by day and time. So, but it literally is the same link for all five, all whatever, how many of those there are. So you just click on that. It'll open up my Zoom, or it'll open up your Zoom to log in to my office hours. Okay. If for whatever reason, if I'm not logged into Zoom, okay, feel free to call me. It may be that I just forgot to log in. I got lost in what I'm doing and I just forgot to log in. Okay. I do have notifications for emails to say when someone logs into my Zoom if I'm not logged in. So if you log in and I'm not there, I may log in within like 30 to 60 seconds because I've seen an email pop up that you've logged in. So I might log in real quick. But if you're waiting for more than a minute or two, feel free to give me a call. Okay. And so what was I going to say? Oh, I did put in my calendar this morning, I put a reminder for every Zoom, every office hours, and every class that I'm in from here until May. So it reminds me when I have to go to class. It reminds me when I have to log into Zoom. Because if you're like me, if there's not a dot on my calendar, then it doesn't exist, and I'm probably going to forget. So you can literally just log in right through that. Orientation module, this is where I put our calendar. Okay, I put it as a PDF as well as an Excel sheet. Sometimes people have issues opening Excel. So I uploaded it as a PDF as well. Okay. If I do make changes on this, okay, I will do my best to update it on Canvas. But I may also just make an announcement if there's any changes. Okay. Right here in this module, which is the third one down, this is where you're going to see all of our recorded lectures. So whatever I'm recording today, as soon as class is done, I will upload it to YouTube and I'll put the YouTube link there and then you can go back and watch it if you need to. Okay. So if you miss class or if you know you're not going to be in class, okay, unfortunately, this class is scheduled as a face-to-face. So I can't give out the Zoom link, even though I know I'm on Zoom. But it would have to be logged as a hybrid class for me to be able to do that. So if you know you're going to be absent, just wait for after class to log in and check the recording. Okay. If I do try my best to get it posted before I leave this classroom, because if I don't, then it usually will be a week or two before I get around to remembering it. Okay. So if you do not see the recorded session for that day within 24 hours, please send me an email. Okay. Don't think that you're bothering me. Don't think that you're like, Mr. Uminsky, I hate to bother you. Please never start an email with I hate to bother you, because you're not bothering me. Okay. Sometimes I just get too distracted. So you'll see right here, you won't be able to see this, but you can see right here on spring 2023, it has the chapter and the date of the class that we talked about that. Okay. All right. So then we'll just go module by module. Okay. So week 1, you'll see right here in the week 1 module, that's this week. Okay. I have the pre-class videos. So whether it says pre-class lesson or it says the chapter lesson number, those are the videos that I want you to watch before you come to class, right? So it's part of this week's activities and assignments, and then we'll go into the chapter 1 and chapter 2 discussion next week. Okay. So that's kind of how we're going to move forward throughout this semester. Any questions, comments, or concerns so far? Let me open up our calendar. All right, so you'll notice on week 2, there's quite a few homework assignments. Okay, some of them are relatively short. So don't just look at the quantity of homework assignments. Sometimes they are relatively short, okay? Here we go. One thing I want you to note really quickly is if you look at week 4, bless you. If you look at week 4 on the calendar, I will be out of town. ACFA, just gonna not zoom in. ACFA is ACPHA, is the Accrediting Commission for Programs in Hospitality Administration. So ACFA is what we are accredited by. In addition to our accreditation for the whole college, we also go through an accreditation process that is specifically for programs in hospitality administration. So none of you will probably go through an ACFA accreditation. Basically what that means is what I'm doing is I'm going to Collin College up in the Frisco area, and I have to go visit them. I have to read their report and make sure that they are meeting the standards that they're supposed to be meeting according to the ACFA standards. So as a site visitor, I have to go and basically evaluate their program at Collin College. I think our next one will be in 2027. So I don't think any of y'all will be here at that point. But as part of the visit, we have to go talk to the students to make sure that what they say they're doing, the students actually agree with. And so I will be gone that week. Okay. I also, if you want to make a note, I also may or may not be available during my office hours on that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, just because I will be in meetings throughout the week. Okay. The due dates reflect the Tuesday of the next week. Okay. Traditionally, so if for whatever reason, as we get into this week 2, like I said, there's quite a few homework assignments. If you miss that 1:30, the January 30th deadline, and you need to push it back, that's fine. Okay. Really, that's what this independent study is going to be for, to get caught up on any work that we've talked about before. Okay. So we'll have the front is the first 8 weeks. The back is the second 8 weeks. Okay. We do have 2 weeks that are open for potential tours right now, week 14, week 10. Oh, wait, sorry, we're in chapter 9 and week 10, sorry. Potentially a tour in week 14 that will be actually going to a hotel, okay? We also have potential for guest speakers throughout any week, whether that's in person or via Zoom. So the other one I wanna point out really quickly is next week for week 2. I haven't confirmed this, but we might have a guest speaker on Tuesday next week, okay? For those of y'all that were in the front office management class, the HMG 1313, the HR manager from the Springs Resort in Pagosa Springs, Colorado, he zoomed in last time. He's supposed to be in town next week with his wife, who's going to be at a conference at the JW Marriott. And so he's supposed to come in on Tuesday to talk a little bit more about the summer internships and the summer practicums that you can do at the Springs Resort in Colorado, which I went into in October, and it was absolutely stunning. So I highly recommend it. Any questions about the calendar? Okay. No, week 10 is going to be chapter 9. I didn't see that right below there. And we may get to the point where if it's a single chapter, we have a double class period, right? So instead of meeting Tuesday and Thursday, we meet only on Tuesdays. And I did that very specifically so that if we wanted to go on a field trip, we have more time to do that. And so because we have that 10:45 to 1:30 time frame, if we get done, we may just jump right into the next chapter. Okay, so that's why I said this is subject to change. We might just jump ahead. Okay. Questions, comments, concerns? All right, let's take a, what time is it? 12 o'clock. Okay, y'all been sitting for a while, hour and 15 minutes. So let's go ahead and take a 5-minute break. If you need to use the restrooms are on that end of the building. Our building is rectangular, so you can just walk in one direction and eventually you'll find it. And then we'll be back here, okay? So 5 minutes, grab a snack, grab a drink, and then we'll go on to the next part of class. Tamara, did you have a question?